Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pig City Podcast. We have made it 10 weeks into the year. Week 11 is coming, and Alexander, your boy is starting to cook a little bit. Picks looking good. You're looking good. Can't say the same for myself, but how are you feeling?
The weeks prior, it was bad. And then last week it was like a 500 week. And it's not bad, but it ain't good either. I like seeing a bunch of green on our sheet.
Yeah,
Instead, I'm getting a bunch of red mixed in, and I don't like that. Makes me feel like I don't know what I'm doing.
that's a fair point. But Alexander, I just want to say I'm in a dangerous spot because should I say it or no?
Say it.
I think I'm starting to see it, bro. I think I'm starting to see the board is opening up to me. It's like I'm not struggling to just find a few. I'll even say this. This part I'm not as confident on, but like I'm not mad that we're having to pick the primetime games. I think I'm starting to see who these teams really are.
That's back to back Thursday, correct pick
Yeah.
for you?
2-0 in my last two.
So, yeah, you're definitely starting to see it a little bit better.
Yeah. And I just feel like I'm actually seeing it. You know what I mean? Like early in the year, even when I was getting wins, it's like, I'm feeling good, man. And that's a dangerous place to be. I will caution everyone with that.
The real question everybody wants to know, are you finally seeing the international games correctly? Or is that
No,
still
but
like a no?
and that's where we will start. So here we go. All right. Our Sunday morning matchup is in Madrid. And I know you're all just so excited for this matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Miami Dolphins in Madrid at 9:30 Eastern. Just a game that everybody's going to be getting up, starting their day, watching this masterpiece of a game. Now, Alexander, I won't lie to you. There's a lot I'm excited for on this slate. This is a game that I'm also excited for. Love a certain side in this game. If we look at the line here, we have the Miami Dolphins as the quote unquote home team, I believe, but they are 2.5-point favorites against Washington. Obviously, neither a true home team. Miami does get that taken away from them this year. Alexander, I know who I'm with, and I feel great about it. Talk to me about this game.
Yeah, to be honest, when I looked at this one, well, before last week, I was like, this is going to be a boring, like, international game. Like, I'm not excited for this. Washington's without Daniels. Miami doesn't know what they're doing. And then last week, Miami, I was like, okay, like I believe a little bit. And by saying a little bit, it means I believe enough in Miami that they can cover 2.5 against a Washington team without Jaden Daniels, a Washington team that I called it before the season. They're not going to make the playoffs. And as like a fan of a team that's
Go Birds.
playing in that's in your division, of course, not going to pull for Washington. But at the same time, like, you love seeing, like, your division rivals struggle. Makes you just feel a little bit better. So, that makes me a little happy. As, Mike McDaniel said, all these guys fully believe they can win out. Trust Mike McDaniels. They're gonna win out, and it starts this week with a win against Washington as well.
And I would like to also say, by the way, 100% with you on this. Love this. One of my favorite games of the week as far as picking a side. There was a rumor that he drove around in Miami near a Bill's bar after the game and with his window down. And I just want to echo what he said and say, anytime you see me make a really bad pick or take, there's a lot of AI going on around here. So may or may not have been true. So that was our Sunday morning preview. All right. All right, Alexander, it is time for our Sunday slate, our Pick City, Pick 3, the Pick'ems. We have 3 separate individual picks. Once again, we did not overlap on any of these. Jimmy did tell me that. I don't know exactly what your picks are, but I'm going to let you go first. You can pick where you're most confident, least confident, or however you want to start it. But let's get into the slate that, honestly, we're putting it on the thumbnail. This is a playoff matchup galore. This is the best slate of the year. I am so excited for this slate. It may let me down, but I'm ready to see how these teams match up.
All right, so I was going to go this one team, but you said it was just playoff matchup galore. So I'm going to start with my first pick of the week, and that is Baltimore taking on Cleveland. Baltimore is 7.5-point favorites, and all I got to say is Baltimore's got Lamar back. Baltimore's clicking. Cleveland, Dylan Gabriel, we've seen it. The dude doesn't throw past like 10 yards down the field. Like, it just isn't clicking. It's not an opened up offense. And the Ravens, they look like they're starting to find a little bit of that groove. Defense is starting to look a little bit better.
That's the big
All
thing.
that time when Lamar was hurt, the division didn't get out of hand. The
Yeah.
Steelers just fumbled the ball, and it's still a chance for them to win this division. I mean, even if they didn't, I still think there's a good chance they could make it as a wild card team. But I think they win the division still. Full confidence in that. And it starts this week by beating up a divisional rival in Cleveland. And 7.5, that ain't nothing. I mean, they probably beat them by like 14. That's how confident I am in the Ravens this week.
So no fear of the Cleveland defense at home and just a murky game. Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree with anything you said. I think they definitely still can win the division. I think they're playing really well. I don't need to repeat everything you said, but I very much agree, and I don't hate that pick. Just a big number for a game that you could see them get stopped a few times. I see like a couple failed fourth downs, and the Ravens. I don't know. They still probably cover, but I like that for you. And so you went with the AFC North matchup. So you know what, Alexander? I'm gonna go the same thing. I'm gonna let you dictate what I picked as one of my picks, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Pittsburgh. The Steelers coming off a very bad primetime performance where their offense looked. I don't know if it looked more like the Steelers with Russell Wilson last year or if it looked more like the Jets with Aaron Rodgers last year. But either way, it was awful. And they looked like they just didn't belong on the same field as the Chargers and just got bullied. And then on the other side of this, you have the Cincinnati Bengals, who they still got Flacco. Burrow's starting to practice a little. They have something to play for. If you're a person that believes in belief, you see the Cincinnati Bengals, the team, they can get Burrow back and they can make the playoff push in an AFC where the sixth, maybe not the sixth seed, but the seventh seed is wide open. But Alexander, I'm going to go with the coach I trust in this and not the coach that's going to be fired. And I'm going with Mike Tomlin. This is another thing against Zach Taylor, why he's going to be fired this year. They got to change something. He's not going to be able to right the ship enough. It's 5.5. I don't care. Pittsburgh in a nice bounce back spot. Trust Mike Tomlin when his team gets embarrassed. It was ugly. Their offense looked terrible. And it isn't a night game. Rodgers is going to be fully awake. His old man isn't going to kick in yet. It's in the middle of the day. Pittsburgh is going to handle the Bengals, and I'm going to finally be able to stop hearing. No, I won't, because they'll never give up. But the Bengals are a dead team. They were dead last year. They tried to fight back. They're not making the playoffs. Give up the hopes. Give up the dreams. Joe Flacco went absolutely berserk last time against Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers went berserk against the Bengals. I think it's more likely that both have a worse game than the last time they played, but I don't even like the over in this game because the Steelers are going to handle them. Love Pittsburgh in this. Love Tomlin in a bounce back game.
Unfortunately, I do not agree with you. I fully believe in the Bengals in this one. So if I was to pick it, I'd pick the Bengals to cover. Maybe I'm just a Flacco like believer, dude. Like I don't know. But like they have scored, I want to say like 35 plus the last two games. The Steelers defense, they haven't showed me nothing all year. They got the big names, but they don't have the heart, the production. The only one out there that actually like seems like he cares is Jalen Ramsey, and that's with him playing at a different position. That position move could possibly help his career long term, but no one on this Steeler team plays with heart besides him. And
That's disrespectful.
so with saying all of that, like I fully believe Cincinnati probably wins this. It's probably a barn burner. I would take the over. Like I have full opposite like thoughts on this game than
Yeah.
you.
I
So
mean, Peyton Wilson's an absolute dog. Hayward's still out there doing his thing, and Tomlin's going to get the best out of his guys. I just feel better about this now. Why do people still want to like believe in the Bengals? I don't get it. They're suddenly going to be
it said I don't believe in the Steelers.
okay. So maybe this week I'll give you that one, but I'm so over the Bengals narrative. 3 years ago, 5 years ago, they made the Super Bowl, so we still believe in them. Their defense is horrible. All right. That was my first pick, Alexander.
My next pick, I'm going to go with. All right, no. I'm gonna go with the Chargers taking on the Jags. The Chargers are 9-point favorites. I mean, when I saw this, I was like, 9 points. That seems like a lot. I get the Chargers put away the Steelers last week with ease. I get the Jags choked away a win last week. But this Jags team, we've seen it all year. They fight. They're in close games consistently. The Chargers before last week, they're in close games consistently. And so with saying all that, I believe it's going to be a close game. I believe the Jags can cover 9 points against the Chargers. So give me the Jags all day in this one. I feel fully confident in it, and I just love it. I thought it was extremely high line. Honestly, at first when I saw the line, I was like, is there like even like, is like Trevor Lawrence not playing? Like Trevor Etienne hurt? Like, what am I missing here? Did, like, the Chargers randomly sign, like, a stud? Like, something's gotta be going on. I had to miss some. Like, that's how, like, wild the line felt.
I mean, I think if Lawrence wasn't playing, I don't know if the line moves regardless. And that's part of the problem. Is you can't trust him in these moments. And yes, that is a big line. I'm trying to connect the dots if it's your lack of belief in Steelers makes you not believe in the Chargers still and it's just too big of a line. Or like I thought your hate for the Jags was way stronger than I don't even think you hate the Chargers, but you don't trust them. So I guess your distrust for the Chargers is greater than your hate for the Jags. But yeah, I mean, I did stay away from this just because it was a big line, but I actually got excited when you first brought up this game. I thought you were going to go with the Chargers, man. You really disappointed me.
Been
That
burned
one
by
hurt.
the Chargers one too many times.
I'll keep getting burned again. I'll love the taste of that flame in LA, baby. All right, Alexander, my next pick. This is one that is going to be weird, and it's going to be really weird received. The Green Bay Packers headed to New York, 7-point favorites on the road after their offense was basically just completely shut down by the Eagles. We've seen the Eagles pass rush chasing Jordan Love. The Packers looked incompetent against the Panthers. Their offense still was struggling against the Eagles. We don't know exactly who all's playing wide out. I think Dobbs is fine, but I don't know if Golden's playing. I don't know if Watson's playing. We don't know who the number 2 is. Is it Wicks? Kraft is out. Musgrave's been okay. A lot of uncertainty from the pass catchers. Josh Jacobs still doing his thing, but Alexander, on the other side of the field, we have Jameis Winston starting at quarterback. And if you believe in like the Ryan Fitzpatrickification of Jameis, that he's going to come in and just have a miraculous game and just throwing the ball everywhere, sure, take the Giants. But Green Bay, if they lose this game, I'm being dead serious. I don't think they make the playoffs. I think it's that big of a game for them and the way their season is, the way their schedule is, the way their division is. I think they're going to go into this game as we can't just play around and take deep shots because it didn't work 2 times in a row. And we've not been impressed with Green Bay's offense all year. You and I have not believed in the Jordan Love hype that he was getting before the Panthers game. Still don't. But this Packers team still has talent. They're still a well-coached team. Some questionable decisions by their coach at times, but you don't have to worry about with the Giants. Are you going to believe in the Kafka interim head coach bump mixed with the Jameis? Seems like the Giants are just throwing a bunch of ingredients together. And if you've ever been in a friend's house and you stay up late, every so often you have that ramen noodles recipe that just hits just right and it becomes a staple. But that's not what this Giants is. This is when you add too many ingredients, you get real excited about it, you take the first bite, then you spit it out and you're mad, and your mom's going to be mad because you just wasted a bunch of stuff in the kitchen and didn't realize the money you were wasting because you just ruined perfectly good ingredients. And that's what the Giants are doing this weekend. They're ruining mom's kitchen, and the Packers are going to destroy them. 7 points is an easy cover for the Cheeseheads as they keep their season afloat.
I wish I wasn't being like this tonight, but I feel the complete opposite again from what you just said. I mean, intern head coaches, they normally just get the boys fired up first game. I mean, you got Jameis, you know he's going to have the boys fired up. I get it. The Packers have a great defense, but that offense, it doesn't look great. They've played in close games consistently this year. They don't pull away from teams very often, and I think it's going to be one of those, that line of 7 is going to be big enough for the Giants to cover the 7-point spread.
Yeah. Now, are you thinking money line for the Giants here or no?
No, just cover
All right.
7.
All right. I mean, I agree with that more than your Bengals take, but the Giants are terrible. Let's just be honest. I have a question for you really quickly on the Giants. I know we got a lot of games to get through. What did Dable show you this year that was different than what he showed you last year? Like, what made him get fired halfway through the year this year?
I think he showed you more this year than he did last year.
Of why he should be fired?
No, of why he
Oh,
showed more to, like, he should have kept the job. Like, if you were going to fire him, you should have fired him last year. But
that's
I'm
kind of
also one of those, like, he went out, drafted this quarterback
did
that
he?
he fully believes in, the one that he wanted. They're bonding. The team, like, showed promise at times. The offense looked very, like, frisky. I mean, yeah, the record since start's been quarterbacks only, like, 2-5, but they've been in a lot of those games. Before then, outside of that Dallas game with Russ, it was ugly. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't a team you believed in. And I don't think, like, for me, like, with a rookie quarterback, I don't like firing their coach, like, halfway through the year. Like, basically, this team was in a bad enough spot last year to where they were able to get the quarterback for their future that they're thinking. And then his rookie year, you fire the coach that was in a spot where it was like, if you're going to fire him before that. have another coach that's in there coming in to build with. Now it's like he's got to start all over with another coach and stuff. I don't like that.
There's a lot of things you said, but I'll say this: Brian Dable, he's has such a horrible record; it's hard to believe in. It doesn't make sense. We agree on that from last year to this year, but also like maybe they're just realizing Jackson Dart is not smart enough to not be injured and be concussed, and they don't like. What are you banking it on? I don't know. I think they're just a franchise that has no clue what they're doing, and they're. I'm sad to see Brian Dable go. I've enjoyed his tenure as a Giants head coach a ton as an Eagles fan, especially since he's been their coach. We've been great about every year. So that kind of feels good. But also, it's the Giants, so I trust they're going to make the wrong decision again. So I'm excited to see what happens from them.
Yeah.
Go Bird.
My last pick of the week, it's probably my most confident pick of the week, and it
Whoa.
is the Chiefs taking on Denver. The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites. Y'all know it. I believe in Denver, but in the preseason. So, of course, I'm going to go with the team that I said you don't write off, the team that's going to make the playoffs, the team that's going to go back to the Super Bowl, and that's the Chiefs. Denver, they might have the best record in football, but I haven't seen enough to make me believe that they can win a divisional game against the Chiefs, a game where it almost feels like the Chiefs need to win this game. And end of the day, it comes down to, do you trust Patrick Mahomes or do you trust Bo Nix? And I haven't seen enough out of Bo Nix this year to trust him. I trust Patrick way more. I trust Rice being on the field with Patrick. I like the fact that the receivers are fully healthy for Kansas City. It allows Kelsey to kind of do his thing where he just freelances out there, just does whatever he wants. Dude doesn't even run a route half the time. He just backyard footballs that. And Denver, I mean, yes, they have a top defense, but I don't know. I get they have a good record, but I haven't been impressed with their wins. They've all felt like they're like scraping to get them. And Bo Nix at times, like, he gives off like I don't know, maybe it comes down to, I expected too much out of Bo Nix. I don't know. I haven't been impressed with Bo Nix this year. I expected more. It's felt like a letdown, and maybe that's on me.
It's felt like a letdown because it's been very inconsistent, and he finished last year extremely hot. That's fair. What's not fair is you picking this game, and I'll be quick on this. To be clear, I do like the Chiefs in this game. Coming off the bye, I think they're prepared for it. They've had 2 weeks to prepare exactly for what Denver's going to be and do. They're not going to be creative. Guys, if you're deciding to pick a side on this game or not, don't. Enjoy this game. This is a game that's meant to be watched, observed, enjoyed. And you're not going to be able to do that at all having a side in this. You're going to see it so clearly one way or the other. RJ Harvey getting his first real looks starting. I'm excited for that. Troy Franklin leading the team as the receiver. Does that free up Sutton more? I'm curious what the Chiefs do there. The Chiefs can't rush the passer. Their linebacker play has been terrible. This is not like a complete team. Now, I do like them in a spot with their coach and quarterback. I'm going to take that almost every time in a bye week in a need to have it situation. I don't know if I'd go fully must win, but they do need this game. I agree. They're currently not even in the playoff race right now. If they lose it, we might have to start having a different discussion about the Chiefs. We'll save that for next week. But if they lose, we really got to start thinking like a push, and that's when they always come through. But don't do that, guys. Don't bet on this game. Enjoy it. Take some certain sides if you want or players, but enjoy this game. You're going to be sad you did this because it's going to be a close game, and all you're going to be thinking about is if they cover that 3.5. And that's why I didn't pick it. Also, 3.5 is definitely like Chiefs are going to win by like 3. That's probably what's going to happen if we're being honest. All right, Alexander, my last pick for my Pig City pick of the week. It's the San Francisco 49ers, 2.5-point dogs. 2.5-point favorites to the Arizona Cardinals. Sorry for calling them dogs there, but they are a team of dogs. Got ahead of myself there. This San Francisco team had a news break this week, Alexander, and something people debated if it was a decision or not. They debated how bad the injury was. It's been back and forth. But Brock Purdy is back under center. Mac Jones did a great job stepping in, keeping the team afloat, keeping them above water. The Cardinals look like a sinking ship. They said, we don't know Kyler's future here, and then they look like the worst team in the entire league. It was 35-0 when you snapped your fingers last week. And I don't think they'll lay an egg that much, but I like the coaching here. I like Shanahan in this spot. If Purdy's healthy enough to play, they obviously felt like they could keep waiting and waiting and waiting on him. I'm excited to see how that opens the run game. I'm excited to see when their wideouts finally do all get back. But I love the 49ers in this spot. This is, again, one of my favorite picks. It just feels so clear and obvious to me. I'm surprised it wasn't 4.5, 5.5. And if that was the case, maybe I'd have thought about it more. But give me the 49ers a field goal on the road. No problem whatsoever. The Cardinals just are a joke. Their best receiver, who, besides McBride, tight end, but Marvin Harrison Jr. finally looked like he's starting to get going. All of a sudden, just appendicitis. He had surgery. He's out for several weeks. I don't understand the line here. So give me the 49ers. Easy money.
Yeah, I mean, I like the 49ers in this one.
Hey, we agreed.
But I will say, this Arizona team, I get last week wasn't pretty, but they have looked a lot more competent on offense with Brissett. So I do think this game could end up being very close, but I do like San Fran in this one.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us for those picks, and we're going to continue with the rest of the slate. And Alexander, we're going to start with the number one matchup most people are looking forward to this week, and it's NFC AFC. Two teams people had a lot of love for in the preseason. They had them as their division winners for both of them. I saw a lot of people picking one of these teams in the Super Bowl, and the other started to get some love as it got closer to the year, and that is the matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. But both of these teams, Alexander, are headed down a bad path, have not looked good in the past few weeks, look a little weak. Some are calling them soft. Bills, 5.5-point favorites at home. Tampa Bay doesn't seem to have an identity on offense without Bucky. Both teams are struggling with making tackles. Alexander, what do you like in this game? What are you looking forward to? Do you like a side? Tell me anything you think. I'm so excited to sit down and just fully be watching this game. This is a big screen. Other games can be shared. This is a watch it on its own screen by itself. I'm so happy for this game.
I mean, if you're Buffalo, you want to get back to the Buffalo ways. I mean, the last couple weeks, it's looked like, in my opinion, very predictable offense. Defenses knows what's coming before it comes. They've been able to kind of contain them. And it's almost got to the point where if you're Buffalo, you're wanting the 1 seed or the division. If that's your goal, this is a must win. You can't afford to lose here. And where Tampa Bay, I feel like, yes, they want to win, but is it a must win? They're in a pretty soft division, in my opinion. I mean, I get they got teams on their heels, but
Yeah, Charmin soft.
I think at the end of the day, they just want to keep getting healthier. And if they do that, I think they can get going back to what they were doing. It's just been a tough road, and I think it's going to be a tough game for them. That line at 5.5, I mean, I stayed away from it just because both these teams, I don't know how I fully feel about.
I know.
And that's why that line felt like it was a big line for me when I don't believe fully in either one of these teams right now.
I mean, it's two playoff teams that and again, you don't have to pick a line, but it's two playoff teams that we're a little unsure of. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're both going to end up being playoff teams. I like to think that this will be a game where Buffalo kind of rights the ship. They get back to their old ways, and Buffalo's going to put up a good fight, or not Buffalo, Tampa Bay is going to put up a good fight, but they're just going to be missing just too many pieces in that receiving core going into this game, and it's going to make it a little too tough.
So do you think that
Is Bucky back this week?
I don't think so. He's doubtful. Do you think Baker's going to have a chance to win it at the end or not?
I think so, just because they're a very well-coached defensive team, and if Buffalo gets any of that predictability going, I think the Bucs will eat all over that, and that'll be able to keep them in this game. And then anytime you keep a Baker-led team in the game, you just got to believe Baker he's got enough dog in him to be able to lead them.
Yeah, I hear that, but here's the thing, man. Baker's been playing bad. If we're just keeping it 100, he's not been playing well. He's missing throws. There was the last time they had a bad loss, there was people claiming that there was over pumping the balls. There was too much helium in them. Obviously, that's a little silly, but that's how bad the throws were. Last game, it was bad reads. They had a great drive to start the game and then nothing after. until the very end of the game. Just a struggling offense. The thing I will say where I would be very nervous as a Bills fan going into this gives me kind of flashbacks of like the Falcons and how they were able to generate pressure. If the Bucks can do that with Bowles having some different designs, I don't know how the Bills react. So I would definitely be way more nervous to your point as a Bills fan than a Bucks fan if you lose this one. But both teams got to be wanting to play better, and this is a game I'm excited not to have a side on and I'm liking to watch, but I kind of like Tampa in this one, to be honest. I also think I want to see like the Bills on their heels and how they respond because really since Josh has been there, they kind of just took over and they haven't had to fight for the division. So I think it's more I want that to happen, but I do like the Bucks in this. So yeah,
I mean, also, like, I don't expect like, last week, the Bucks got burnt on, like, 3 big plays in that game. I don't expect them to give up 3 big plays for
I don't
touchdowns
know,
this
man. They
game.
love giving up big plays.
I think they clamped that
And it's
down.
Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen rushing in this game. I do like that the Bucks got Sean Tucker a little more involved. I think he gets more touches this week, especially if Bucky seems like he's not going to be back. I think he just gives a little another element. Rashad White is a very good running back to have as your second guy. He can't be leading. All right. A non-exciting matchup, Alexander. The Houston Texans, they have the miraculous fourth quarter last week. Davis Mills starting again. They're taking on the Titans, who the Titans are basically an afterthought for us on this pod and nationally of how bad they've been. They got clips coming out of check out Calvin Ridley at practice, and it's just a white guy running routes. They don't know whose anybody is anymore. It's a horrible situation. Texans being a 7-point favorite is crazy with Davis Mills. I mean, if I told you, hey, Davis Mills is going to be the quarterback for a team, is a 7-point favorite, you would not have known what to think because he basically only plays for the Texans, starter and then backup. A cool little storyline there. He just stays with the Texans forever. Texans win this game. I have no interest in a line. I have no interest in really watching this. I will be watching this if the other games go to commercial or if I happen to catch it out of the corner of my eye. It'll be on. I hate this game. It's like one of the few negatives on the slate for me. It's a bad.
Yeah, I like the Texans in this one as well, and maybe it's just me, but is Davis Mills, like, one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league? Like, I feel like he has, like,
Yeah.
starter-ish potential, but not,
No.
but then when he has that backup role and can come in and just play, like, a couple, like, weeks, he can, like, do good, like, very, like, Jacoby Brissett-ish, like, he can
Uh,
come in and be very productive for you for a couple weeks, but if you play him for the full week, defenses start figuring him out, like, for a full season.
Well, I don't think there's much to figure out. He don't really do a whole lot. He's not ter No, to answer your question, no, he's not one of the best backups. But I think truthfully, it's more he's a backup that's as close to one of the ones closer to the starter's play, and that just kind of tells how CJ Stroud has been the past 2 years, to be honest.
He Maybe it just helps that he has, like, a receiver like Nico, and he knows that he's the
Yeah.
best player on the field, and Imma feed him when I'm passing,
Hey, one thing I do
kinda like
love in this.
Flacco has been doing with the Bengals.
Yeah. One thing I do love in this, though, is the Texans vocally said, like, "We need to get Woody the ball more." I don't think that's some kind of decoy or ploy. Like, I mean, I was on the guy in the offseason, and they just refused, so that makes me mad. So maybe that's why I'm anti-Texans. But, yeah, I'm excited for that, I guess. This game might have the fewest air yards of any game of the weekend. Like, it's just gonna be check downs, handoffs, screen passes. It's awful. All right, I don't have anything else on that one. All right, Alexander, NFC South, Carolina Panthers, who were sitting above 500 with the game against the Saints. You mentioned it on the pod last week. Not only did you not like the Panthers to cover, you thought the Saints could win. The Saints did win. Panthers now at 500. Another divisional matchup against the Falcons. Falcons 3.5-point favorites. Both of these teams are playing really bad brands of football. But if you look at the talent disparity just on the roster, this line shouldn't even be that close. And that's where I get really confused with the Falcons. Is it bad coaching? Is it a bad quarterback? I don't really know. Alexander, talk to me about this game, just Panthers Falcons in general. I'm struggling to see this one.
I think it doesn't help on how to see it with the fact that the last time they matched up, the Panthers shut them out, but if you don't look at the scoreboard and you look at, like, the play minus, like, the Falcon turnovers and not being able to convert in certain situations, the Falcons technically dominated that game. So I really like the Falcons in this one, and I expect them to be a little bit more cleaner in this one, and honestly, they'll probably be out for revenge. They might beat them by, like, 14, if not more than that. Like, Falcons defense seems like it's getting a little bit better, and Penix is starting to look more comfortable, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, he'll be more comfortable this week at home in a dome. I'll say
I
that.
mean, I think, like, if you're the Falcons, the main thing you gotta do is you gotta get Bijan going fully, and that's been the struggle lately, and if they can't get that going, it'll end up being a close game, but if they get Bijan going, it'll be over quick.
And that brings me, Alexander, to my first anytime touchdown score of the week, and that is Bijan Robinson. I did skip one earlier, so I'll add that later at the end. It was Jalen Warren, but Bijan Robinson, I do think finds the end zone. To your point, he is the offense. He is the run game. Now, you might be sitting there saying, dude, did you not see Algier had 2 touchdowns last week? They obviously won on the red zone. Like it even more. Okay? Bijan finds the end zone. He's going to be in there. I agree with everything you said, except for you left out one thing. They're the Atlanta Falcons, so, like, don't believe in them too much. That's the problem. I just still don't believe in Penix, if I'm being honest, either. I know he throws it hard. I know he gets it out quick. Maybe it is the lefty thing, but I don't know. Something about it's not good. But I believe in the Panthers even less. So, yeah. I'm excited to see how that game goes. I'm not super excited about, like, certain things to watch for, but I'm excited to watch it. All right. We now have an NFC North battle. 3 Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings 3-point favorites. I'm actually shocked you did not pick this game. So talk to me about it.
It made the final 5, I guess. It was 4th, for being honest, just outside looking in. I really like Minnesota in this one, but I've been trying to be very careful with, like, when it comes to, like, the Bears and, like, picking against them. Don't get me wrong, I still don't believe in the Bears. I don't
Mm.
think they're as good as their record
Ooh.
says they are. They just, like, their schedule so far to this point's been
Hello
very
world. That's
easy,
my mother in the background.
or they, like, randomly cover, or they'll win but not cover the line that was set. Like, it's just a weird team so far this year, and it seemed like, what was it, 2 weeks ago when DJ Moore was starting to get involved, it's like, okay, like, now if they could just get DJ and Rome both involved, it's like it's one or the other. They gotta figure out how to get both of them going at the same time, and if they can do that, they could be a good team. But I
I
don't
don't
think they
know.
can do that. Like, Caleb, like, if it wasn't for his running ability that he has, they could be in huge trouble a lot of times in plays. Like, it's either he's too scared to throw a ball, so then he just takes off running, or the pocket just collapses on him, so then he's having to run for his life. Like, there's a lot of check downs to Swift and stuff that's helped him get going. But I don't expect Minnesota to give him all that breathing room in this game. So, with all that I said, I really like Minnesota.
Yeah, I am still shocked you didn't pick it. And folks, if you watch that clip, we might have to clip that out, especially when somebody opened the door. But I mean, you're such a Bears hater, it's actually insane. I don't really know how to say it. Now, I agree with you that they don't seem like a 7-3 team. They do seem more like a 6-4 team if you want to do the just close your eyes and picture a record thing as far as them winning this or not. But they've been getting the running game going, Alexander, and that's why their offense has been more productive. But you know what they're not good at? That's defending the pass, especially over the top. And that's why Justin Jefferson's finding the end zone. Give me the anytime touchdown with Justin Jefferson. Add him to the card. I got Jalen Warren, Bijan Robinson, and Justin Jefferson. I got one more person to add. Think he finds the end zone. I agree with you. If you remember J.J. McCarthy, his first game against the Bears in his career, really, he plays really terrible for 3 quarters and then plays better in the 4th quarter. They're starting to trust him a little more. I still got to see more from him, but I'm not like hating on him like you hate Caleb. I'm just saying I don't fully trust JJ yet because I don't have enough to base it on. But I like the Vikings in this game. This one's going to be really interesting if the Bears do handle them, though. I think if the Bears can take care of business on this, I, for one, will start looking at the Bears a little more differently, where I think you'll just start believing in the Vikings less. All right, Alexander, we got one more before our primetime picks, and that is probably the second most exciting game of the weekend. If you maybe you like it better than Tampa Bay Buffalo, but that is the Seattle Seahawks taking on the LA Rams. Rams 2.5-point favorites, a divisional showdown, a NFC atop of the conference showdown. This game not only has huge implications for just who's the best right now, this could be a season changing implication game. I can't explain to you how excited I am for this one, Alexander. I am so excited to see how these teams look against each other right now. I'm excited for the matchups on the outside. I'm not 100% sure on Devontae Adams. He said he's going to try to play. That would definitely change things for the Rams in the red zone. But The Rams are I didn't say this, I saw this, like, they're, like, 3 plays away from basically being undefeated. I know it's football and it's close games, but, like, they've been that good, and Seattle looks like the best team in the league right now. So this is, like, just an exhilarating matchup. Again, I did not wanna pick either side of this because I don't even wanna think about who I like in this game. I am so excited to watch this. This feels like the most playoff game of the weekend for me, which is weird because it's 2 divisional teams, but I'm so excited to watch this, and I don't really know how I feel, so maybe you can convince me.
Yeah, I don't know how to convince you which way to feel
Dang it.
because I like both of these teams a lot. I think this kicks off the 4 o'clock slate, which is an amazing 4 o'clock slate.
Mm.
Probably the best 4 o'clock slate we've had this year. I just both of these teams I believe in. I think they're both playoff teams. I honestly will be tuning in because I think the winner of this will go up more in my eyes than the loser drops in my eyes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it depends a little bit on the game, like, I don't think one team's gonna handle the other,
Yeah,
but it might just be a mistake or, like, it's gonna be fun.
agree.
If Sam Darnold just opens it up and starts tossing the ball around and Seattle handles the Rams, the Seahawks are gonna look so different to me. If the Rams go out, win by 7, win by 4, kinda control the game, I'm gonna feel exactly the same as I do about these 2 teams, if that makes any sense. Like, I expect this to be a home field, the extra possession, the 1 turnover, the sack where Darnold fumbles. There's gonna be a turnover, and I feel like the Rams are gonna win by a possession. If that doesn't happen, I'm gonna view things a little differently. But I don't even know what I hope for in this game. I think, like, chaos brain is like, I wanna see the Seahawks blow them out just to see what happens. But I don't really know if that's good for anybody in the league if the Seahawks have another dominant victory. Like,
Yeah.
their defense is everything people raved about this offseason and more, given I was way off on it, but they are so good and so fast. And I think truly what it is, Alexander, and both of these teams have it, and I think you'll agree, they both know exactly who they are. They're extremely confident in their identity, what they want to do, and they execute extremely high. And that just seems to be very rare in the league this year for whatever reason.
Yeah, I agree.
You got the Rams in this one? Be honest.
Yeah,
It feels dumb to pick against them, but
agree.
I don't feel great about it. All right, that was our full Sunday day slate. All right, everybody, this is our Sunday night football pick. We have the Detroit Lions facing the Philadelphia Eagles, 2 juggernauts in the NFC. This was the the NFC Championship game everybody wanted to see last year. But last week, the Lions put an absolutely whipping on Washington Commanders, what they could not do in the playoffs last year, which is why we didn't get to see this matchup in the NFC Championship. So it is kind of funny they play these teams back-to-back weeks. Schedule makers got a little laugh on that one. But Alexander, who is going to be having the biggest laugh in this game with the Eagles 2.5-point favorites at home? It's going to be green. It's going to be rocking in Philly. Eagles offense looking a little stale, a little predictable. You got the A.J. Brown drama going on and kind of cured up. And that's really the storyline from the Eagles. Nobody's talking about that they dominated the Packers for 4 quarters on defense. Nobody's talking about this Eagles team is 7-2 despite not having good offense. It's just the sky's falling from everyone else. Meanwhile, everyone's crowned the Lions basically with the Seahawks and Rams as the top teams in the NFC. I don't see Jalen Hurts getting talked about anywhere near Jared Goff. And yes, I'm biased. You know I'm going with the Eagles. There's nothing to discuss there, but I'm going to let you talk more about the actual game because I think this is where the Eagles narrative game, there's concerns, there's worries, there's this, there's that. And I'm curious if you feel the same. And I think the Eagles are going to be just handle this. And everybody's like, oh, maybe we're a little too harsh considering they've already beat like 5 other playoff teams this year. I fully expect the Eagles to win. I think their defense gets a couple turnovers that switches the game. I like Saquon Barkley to score a touchdown as my anytime touchdown. But am I just way off? Am I too biased? I will say there is a flaw in me when it's a big-time game. I'm probably never going against the Eagles.
I am picking the Eagles in this one to cover the 2.5-point spread. I think, though, if the Eagles are going to achieve this, it can't be done the way they did it last week, which was basically relying on their defense to step up. The offense is going to have to show up. It's going to have to lose the predictability. It's probably, if we're being honest, going to have to get the run game going. You're going to have to get AJ going. Like, this offense is going to have to be clicking because if they show up like they did last week, I have a feeling Detroit's just going to go into Philly and throttle them. So I really hope they show up with more fight this week and the offense is clicking better. And they show us something that we can believe in going into the playoffs and what this team can be.
Yeah. Another game with huge implications. Could be for the 1 seed, could
Yeah.
be for the division lead for the Lions. I don't think the Eagles have to worry about not winning their division. I I guess I'm just saying, like, they're gonna rise to the occasion, and they're gonna get things right. And maybe that's pure optimism, maybe that's pure hope, but it is true belief, like, I'm not just making it up. Um, for all the concerns and worries, lost a really close game to the Broncos they almost blew, and didn't show up for one game this year against the Giants. There's no undefeated teams, everybody drops an egg. I think they show up against the teams they're playing, and I think they win.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
okay. That's how you feel about it. Dan Campbell taking over play calling duties. Anything there? You want to comment on it?
Can he call plays for Philly as well? He seems like he understands that
He's
you make an
he's
effort to get your best player on the field the ball.
he's like, you know what? I think the best way to challenge my team is if they can beat me. It's like the philosophical question: can you beat yourself one on one?
Yeah.
All right. That was our Sunday night pick. All right, everybody. It is Monday Night Football. We have two. You know what? I'm just going to say it. We have the Dallas Cowboys, 3.5 point favorites in Vegas facing the Raiders. Such a great slate. Hopefully, a wonderful weekend of football that we don't need Monday to carry us, because I don't think it's going to carry us, Alexander. This game's.
Yeah, this game to me is going to go one or two ways.
No.
And I know, seems obvious,
I mean, the Cowboys
but
could tie.
it's going to go Dallas throttles the Raiders or the Raiders throttle Dallas. For some reason in my head, like, even though everything's telling me it should be a close game, I think one or the other happens. Like, one team beats the crap out of the other, or the other beats the crap out of the other one. Like, and I don't know why I feel that way, but I do. And with saying all that, I think Dallas wins this game against Vegas, and it hurts me to say that, but that's truly what I believe in this game.
Yeah, I think Dallas dominates, unfortunately, as well. Yeah, I don't really even have much else to that.
Do you think it's gonna be a close game, or you think one team throttles the other?
No, I think Dallas dominates them. I think it's like at halftime, I'm like, am I actually committed to watching the rest of this game or not? I hope I'm wrong. Be honest, if you want to have fun, bet on one of these teams to get a safety. That's about the only exciting thing you can do in this. I don't know. This is like, if I'm ranking the least exciting games, it's Houston, Tennessee, and then Dallas, Las Vegas. I just don't care to watch any of these teams anymore. I'm over them. At least Houston has a good defense, I guess. All right. That was our Monday night pick. Alexander, anything you want to add or say about anything, even if this last part's not included in the main one?
I mean, you can't go perfect unless you get the first one right, and I got the first one right on Thursday, so, hey, the chance to go perfect this week is still kicking.
Hey, we could both go perfect. Even though you disagree with my picks, we still could get them all right. And we agreed on all the prime. Well, that's not good. That is not good. We agreed on every prime time.
Have we done that at all this year?
No. Huh?
Interesting.
Well, we haven't went perfect yet either.
I have on primetime. Just not for the whole slate.
Anytime touchdown parlay, Justin Jefferson, Bijan Robinson, Jalen Warren, Saquon Barkley. So maybe I'll clip that part out. All right. That's all I got, Walker.
I figure you go Genty.
I'm good if you are. No, dude, because I don't want to have to watch the end of that game. I know I will, but like, I'm gonna be cheering for Genty, and it's gonna be like, no, let's let Jack Besh have an end around on the 1 yard line on 1st and goal, and he gets tackled for like a 4 yard loss. And so then Gino tries to throw a touchdown, and it just bounces off a random receiver's hands, and the Cowboy picks it off and starts like celebrating. It's like, dude, you did nothing. You dropped the ball.
All right. That feels like a perfect note to end this on.
Yeah, I'm good if you are, man.
Yep. We out.
Dang, bro, I can't believe you're really back in on the Chiefs. Thought you'd be done with them.
Probably should have been.
I mean,
But you
dude,
can't count the Chiefs out, dog.
I mean, they're making the playoffs. That's the thing. So, like, somebody has to fall off. You
Yeah.
know what could happen, right?